Hello, and welcome to The Smut Show, a weekly podcast with your internet book bestie, where every week myself and a guest discuss books and mix in a little bit of life, pop culture, and everything in between. So sit back with your favorite beverage and let's chat. Hello and welcome to The Smut Show. I'm Neely and I am back with my pal Kailey, and we are going to talk today, guys. We're going to talk about the Tell Me Lies finale, and we are going to talk about spring and summer books we're excited for. So Kailey, welcome. I'm so happy
Thank you for having me back.
And we're both in our under-eye masks. We're recording this on a Wednesday morning, although I've already been up for almost 5 hours. And I'm like, it's only 9:30. I feel like it should be noon.
You've lived a whole day.
I've lived a whole day. But I was very excited. It's like very sunny here today, and the high is 78. So don't worry.
Jealous.
We're going to get 30-something this weekend. It's why I had a horrendous migraine yesterday, like horrible migraine. And I'm pretty sure it's the fact that our weather is either 80 or 30. And it's like doing
Just
this.
pick one. Just pick one.
So should we get into ones and fives?
Let's do it. You go first.
Okay. My 1 star is that I have to go get my driver's license renewed tomorrow. And I haven't had to do this in 12 years. So like in person. So the last time I went to, or I guess like 11 and a half years. The last time I went to get my driver's license done in person was when I got married. And after that, I think it's like you have to do another one every 6 years, but every 6th year you get to do it online, I think. So it's like 6 years ago I did it online, but now it's been 6 more years and they're like, no, you have to go in person. Which is annoying. I love that picture. So I'm like a little frustrated, but it's fine. I was 30 when that picture was taken. So I mean, it is time to update
You're like,
her.
I look the exact same.
I actually do.
Thanks to the, you get the face vitamins going. That's what we call them.
Thank you, Botox and skincare. I do look similar. Not exactly the same, but it's not a big difference. But
Close enough.
I have an appointment. So I haven't been since COVID when like they've done the appointments. And I know that it is not a big deal. Like, here's the thing. I've talked about this on the podcast before. I have appointment paralysis. So I have this thing where if I have an appointment, like a doctor's appointment or this, like I hate it. And it's not that I have like, I'm not afraid of doctors. Like I'm not afraid of shots. I just hate going. I hate the waiting. I hate the sitting. I think it just ruins my whole day because it's like, okay, it's at 10 a.m. So it's like, I can't really get much done before. And by the time I get home, I'm like, oh, I have like 3 hours till I have to pick my kids up. So it's just annoying.
Well, the DMV is awkward because like I have to get my real ID still. I'm like, whoops. But I'm like, well, I have to like look cute. So I have to like do my hair and like put on a full face of makeup.
It is that too.
So I'm going to so I'm not going to work out before because I have to like do all this. And then like afterward, I guess I can come home and like wash it all off. And that, yes, it's a very like the logistics that like men don't think about. But I'm like, no, you want to like, you're not going to roll up there like a bridge troll. Like you have to be ready.
I've put it off. I've like rescheduled this twice now. Now, to be fair, one time was because our city was shut down for snow and ice. And so I had to. That is a very loud helicopter. Do you hear that?
Yeah, I thought I was like, is that a dog growling or is that the wind?
Helicopter outside. I don't know why there was a helicopter flying over my house. Hopefully nothing bad is happening. But yeah, so it's just having to get it done. But I know I'll do it. It'll be fine. It's whatever. My 5 star, I don't know. It's probably the weather, honestly. I find that I am a lot more productive when it's beautiful outside. Like even inside the house, I'm just like a happier version of myself. Yeah. And I don't get seasonal depression in the winter. I didn't think, but I think I might have this year. I think it was like too much winter.
100%. I think everybody kind of gets it. Like everyone's just like happier and the sun is shining. It's like, how can you not?
The problem is that I also get like a bit of seasonal depression in Texas in August when it's 110 degrees. It's like a different kind of seasonal depression. I'm just sweaty all the time and I don't like to sweat. That's why you will never find me in a hot yoga class because I don't want to purposely, like, I don't like to be hot on purpose. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to like be like people who are like, I'm going to go to hot Pilates. I'm like, that sounds horrible. Why do you want to do that?
I,
Huh?
I did see an Instagram though yesterday that the girl was like, I'm done. I will never complain about a sunburn again. I really just want like a good sunburn and a day at the pool. Like, and I was like, yeah, same. Like I could be hot and sweaty at the pool. But I
But
give
you know
shit
what,
like you mean
like,
in terms of like workout purposes.
do you know what like the best thing is though in the world? And like I don't know how to explain this to a man because I don't feel like they understand it. It's being at the beach for like a significant amount of time, not with your kids.
I was
You're
gonna
on a
say, like,
vacation.
there's no
Take the
kids in
kids
this
away
fantasy.
from this. No,
Yeah.
in this fantasy, the children are at home with
Right.
grandparents. But go to the beach, you're having some cocktails, like you're feeling good. You go back, you take an everything shower. You blow out your hair, all of that, and then you get in bed. And
Yes,
like
with
lounge
just
your
your
clothes,
towel and you're like,
and you take a nap. And you
Yeah.
take that like post beach pool, post everything shower. You're clean. You're like a little crispy. You have 5 hours before you need to get ready for dinner. It's just like it just hits different. And anyway, I'm looking forward to having that at some point again. But
yeah.
for now, it'll just be my
On
fantasy.
that note, yeah.
On that note, are you about to do that? Are you about to be like, my 5 stars that I'm about to go on a beach vacation? No, I'm
No, I
kidding.
do have 2 great 5 stars. I have no real 1 star because we just talked 2 days ago. But I'm gonna give you a double 5 star. My first 5 star is
just
that
like choked on my coffee. You're like, we literally just talked.
Are you okay?
I have
Well,
nothing new to say.
I have no 1 stars. I'm going to Vegas tomorrow to do as you're talking about like not wanting to sweat and like be hot. I'm doing a high rocks competition.
What is that?
Which is like a fitness competition. So it's like a mix of like running and like weightlifting stuff. So I'm doing it like with a girlfriend. We're doing a team in Vegas. I've never been to Vegas.
Oh,
So
Vegas is fun. I haven't
I'm
been since I
excited.
was 25 though. I've literally not been in 17 years.
Like this will not be like a this is not the Backstreet Boy trip. I was like, can I go to the Sphere? But they're like not there this weekend. I was so sad. Anywho,
No, I
so
think
like
they
really
like
excited for that.
finished their residency.
Yeah. Except they
like
just
2
announced
days ago.
They announced like summer dates. And I'm like, oh,
I want to go. I have so many friends that have gone. I'm dying to go. I might have to make that happen.
Yeah, so they announced more dates. But my second 5 star is my girlfriend and I, we just got Hillary Duff tickets.
That is so fun. She's coming to Dallas too. I would love to go to Hillary Duff. And what's funny is like Lizzie McGuire and all that was like a hair younger than me, right?
I was gonna say that's like past you.
Hillary Duff though is around my age. I mean, she's what, like 39, 40? She's like something around there.
I don't know how old she is. She's like, she looks great.
I like how you and I are like,
I'm
look
like,
up Hillary Duff.
Oh, 1987. Yeah, she's 38.
Okay, so she's 38.
Yeah.
Okay, she'll be 40 or she'll be 39 this year. Okay, so she's around my age. So like, but I'm a huge Hillary Duff fan because I loved Younger. Younger is one of my all-time favorite shows. Loved Younger. Team Josh
she
for
was
life.
Great, Kelsey. Yeah, Josh.
Love her.
Except like
we
Charles.
Love a boss bitch. The problem with that show is like I truly would have been happy either way. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
Like I feel like though, like Charles like a little bit wanted her to be something she wasn't. And I feel like Josh let her just like be her weird self. You know what I mean?
I know.
I don't know.
I know.
I've always had a thing for the bad boys though. Like if my TV viewing history is like Team Pacey, Team Ryan Atwood, Team Nathan Scott. Like I've always had a thing. I use quotations around bad boys because all of these guys are like good guys.
Not real bad boys.
They're just they're like
a little.
They're like a
bad
little
boy light.
Bad boy. Yeah, they're like bad boy adjacent, right? Like they're not like the on paper like Lucas was like the good guy, but at the end Lucas was actually like the worst. But that is a tangent. But
you should go see her.
I know, I might. I do love me some Hillary Duff. I was very enthralled in that whole mom group drama that happened with Ashley Tisdale. Also, I've never seen High School Musical. So all of these things
was past your time. You were like too old.
They were like just a little bit past my time, right? It was like the One Direction, the Jonas Brothers, like all of that was just like I was like just a slight too old for it. But now I'm kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'll watch High School Musical when my kids get into it. I feel like eventually Charlotte will watch it and that'll be my time. But I also really don't, I mean, other than the driver's license thing, I was like, I really don't have a 1 star. Like I can't really complain. It's been like a fairly good, first half of the week. So
okay, love it.
All right. Are you reading anything since 2 days ago or watching? Other than Tell Me Lies, which we're doing.
Tell Me Lies finale. I finished nothing that I'm really ready to talk about. It was like a thriller, nothing smutty that I think, but I do have one that I want to highlight when we talk about our spring and summer books. So I can wait till that section.
Well, okay. I have watched something since we talked. Or wait, maybe I had watched it when we talked. Did I talk about the JFK love story? I might have talked about it.
No, I want to watch it.
Did I not? Oh my God. I've watched all three of the first 3 episodes. That was weird too. A light just flickered in my house. Something at my house is haunted.
It's your ghost.
Okay. So when Liam was a baby, like not a baby, like a 1, in our first house that we owned, he used to stare at the spot on the wall all the time, like just stare at this one spot in the kitchen on the wall. And Andrew and I would be like, oh, that's his ghost. And like years later, I was like, what if it was? Like he just would stare at it and like smile at it. It was so strange.
Aww.
But anyway, I know. But I loved it. Or I mean, it's only been 3 episodes, but I am like, I'm here. I am in it. I am all about it. It is so good. If you're not watching the JFK Jr. Carolyn Bessette love story, it is a delight. The music is so good. Everything about it is great. I am very hit or miss with Ryan Murphy stuff. Like I was never into like American Horror Story, but I've really loved his like American crime stories, like the OJ one, and we've watched the Versace one, and we loved those. But I was kind of like, okay, like I'm gonna give this a try, and 10 out of 10 so far.
Okay, I'm gonna add it to my list.
It's filling the hole in my heart that is being left by Tell Me Lies. Although, did you see, now that we'll get into that, have you seen the memes that are like, thankfully I'm freed from the shackles of this show? It's like, was holding us all down in like an aggression. I don't know how we even start this. I don't know how we start. Okay.
Well, first of all, this is a spoiler episode about the finale. So we're just going to like
This is a spoiler episode about the finale, but it has now been out for a full week by the time this airs. So, because it came out yesterday, and I will say when I predicted, I feel like I was like pretty on point. The only thing we didn't really talk about is we were kind of like, oh, like Bree and Evan are married, so I guess that's that. But the writer, did you read the article that the writer came out with?
Yes. Where she's
Bree and Wrigley are together.
Endgame. Yes, and she like confirmed because somebody's like, "What happened?" She's like, what'd she say? She's like, Bree and Evan got their marriage annulled, and like her and Wrigley are like living happily ever after. But I didn't realize this. So apparently, at the start of season 3, like Megan Oppenheimer emailed. She like texted the writers, and she's like, Bree and Wrigley are endgame, and they were all like, "Excuse me." So like she knew the whole time, and I was like, "Oh, I love this so much."
I will say I was very wary about how she was going to wrap this up. I was like, "There's no way she's going to be able to wrap this up in an hour and 7 minutes." And by God, the woman wrapped it up, and she didn't. I know that some people feel like it was rushed. I don't feel like it was rushed. I felt like the trajectory of the episode was perfect. I felt like we got an answer to one of the only questions I cared about, was how the hell did Lydia and Steven get together? Which he says, we just got together to piss off Lucy. Like, and he says it like in a matter-of-fact conversation with her. She throws the ring at him. We're done. I need to know nothing else about their relationship. I don't care. I feel like any kind of question that it left, Megan Oppenheimer answered in that article. But I feel like also she was kind of like, you're supposed to like use your brain, essentially.
Like use your imagination.
But it's not even like imagination. It's like use your like problem solving skills that you have in your head and understand what happened. Like clearly, like Steven still did fine. Like I'm sure he had gotten into other law schools. Like he went somewhere else so that Diana could go to Yale. Also, people being like, who called Yale? I'm like, did you watch the show? It immediately pans to Wrigley. Clearly it's Wrigley who contacted Yale and was like, this guy sent nude photos. Although I'm surprised that like they did that without proof and rescinded his resignation.
I don't know. I mean, would he have gotten Diana involved? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, they must have had a way to like confirm it, don't you think? Again, but like details that we like don't really need to know. Like he
so
didn't
let's
go
start
to
at
Yale.
The beginning of the episode where it flashes forward to 2015 and it's the engagement party and Wrigley and Bree bang for the first time, and it's confirmed that nothing ever happened with them in college after that. Like she stayed with Evan. and we kind of see that a little later on in the episode, like nothing has happened with them since. And he's like, I deserved a second chance, and my heart broke a little bit. And he's like, I deserved a second chance. Like, haven't you ever had sex with somebody because you felt sorry for them? It's like, it's called sympathy sex.
I know. I was dying.
But what did you think of that revelation that like nothing had happened?
I was surprised, and I was texting you watching it. It is believable. And like the more you think about it, because again, I was like, wait.
They're young. Like we forget that they're later. 20 and 22. Like, he's like, I was 22 years old.
Like full-fledged adult conversations of like, with reasoning and logic and like, hey, here's what's going on. I think Bree really just shut him out once she realized he had sex with Pippa.
And I think done. I think that coming off of the heel, like her finding that out and then immediately finding out that her mom had essentially turned on her. Oh my God. That whole scene to me was the hardest to watch of the whole episode with Oliver and Marianne and her mom.
With like the gaslighting. It was like.
Just gross.
There were so many things. And the mom, I'm like, okay, so now you try to show up and like, I don't know, care. And like, you don't believe your daughter. And then the other girl was in there and I was like, this isn't even appropriate for her to be in here. Like, why is she in here? It was just like a mess. And I was like, fuck you, Marianne. She was the worst.
And for those who haven't read the article, Megan Oppenheimer says she feels like, because 2 years later is the Me Too movement, and she feels like Oliver gets Me Too'd and him and Marianne get divorced because it's not a sustainable relationship.
It's like a toxic, horrible relationship.
So we can assume that he gets his comeuppance eventually, and that, perhaps Bree comes forward in that and signs the Me Too petition or whatever. Who knows? And then we get to the sadness that is that tape being released and the way Lucy saw it in the class. I feel like, though, that is also very realistic that she would be sitting there and you 100%, see it on someone's computer and you get up and it's playing everywhere. Because, I mean, this is clearly like a very small liberal arts college. So this isn't like a massive 50,000 person university. This is
where
probably
there's 300
less than
people
10
in a lecture. Right.
This is probably less than 10,000 people on campus. It's why these people fucking run into each other so much. Because let me tell you, I hooked up with a guy my freshman year of college and never saw him again. Like, we made out at a party, never saw each other again, never saw him on campus. Like, it's possible if you go to a big enough school. They're not at a big school.
No, so they're like 3,000 people probably.
I will say
that was wild.
My hardest kind of unrealistic part of that, I don't feel like she would have gotten expelled for that. I feel like they would have gone to some committee. I feel like it would have, because even Chris had to go to like a disciplinary committee. They did like a whole thing on that. I feel like something would have happened where, because this is a girl who'd never gotten in trouble at school before.
I agree. And I kind of think for like the purposes of the show and the series, she kind of had to do that because like, okay, what? So let's say she got a semester like off or maybe had to like take a leave of absence for a semester. Like,
no, I mean,
if she'd come back, I think it would have like ruined the whole thread. But I totally agree. And I think that's what I said to you on my voice note yesterday. I was like, I am kind of shocked. They were just like, you're gone. Like, you've seen her kind of struggling like all semester and she's been in your office like for all this, the sexual abuse like allegations that you thought. And you see her and they're like, Lucy, are you hearing me? And she's like having like an episode.
I think she was just like disassociating. I do think it's sad. I think Pippa, okay, my friends and I in our group text last night were like ranking the characters at the end of the series. Pippa is very low on my list. I think Pippa is a shit friend. I think she's a shit judgmental bitch. I was so disappointed that after everything she's done, not to mention, lest we forget, she hooked up with Lucy's second roommate freshman year while she was dating Wrigley. Do we not forget that episode where she like hooks up with the girl, like goes down on her and she like that happened in the first season.
I don't know. I didn't remember that. Huh.
With Charlie is the roommate's name that like comes in
I believe you.
Towards the end of the season. Anyway, I'm kind of like, you're not better.
Right. Yeah.
Like, she's like, guys, guys doing that to guys isn't as bad as doing it to other girls. I'm like, I don't know. It's all pretty bad. So,
I agree.
But I also think just being like, I want nothing to do with you ever again. I'm kind of like, calm down, Pippa, first of all.
Yeah, I was like, get off your high horse. It just felt so hypocritical. And I was like, you're literally cheating on Wrigley. And then you made Wrigley have pity sex with you. And
also, Wrigley, what a king. He was so understanding and sweet to her when she's like, by the way, I'm cheating on you.
He just had like I know, he's like, he's like, I turned you gay. He's like, I want all the, he's like, I want all the details. Like, just so funny. I mean, he really had a great character arc. And if you had told me at the end of season 1, if you had said like Wrigley will be your favorite by the end of season 3, I would have been like,
I literally posted I know you're not on TikTok. I posted a TikTok yesterday saying if you had told me season 1 that Wrigley and Diana would have been my 2 favorite characters at the end of the show, I would have been like, you are insane. Like, there's not a chance. And because I remember hating Wrigley in season 1. That episode where they go to Evan's family's like lake house or whatever. Yeah. Ugh, he was the worst. I was like, I hate this fratty mess of a character. He had such a great arc. He turned into be like the best to all of them. I love that he knew Steven enough to know that he couldn't just stand there and be like, you're a fucking piece of shit. He was like, I'll get him and I'm going to keep him at a distance after that. Like,
can we, okay, wait. Speaking of the Steven of it all, like his speech, it was amazing.
I was giggling. I was laughing so hard during it. I couldn't stop laughing.
And the Britney Spears in the background. I was like, this is like the pinnacle of the series. And at first I was like, is this a little over the top, like slapstick, like with Evan smashing? I mean, no, it was the cake, actually iconic.
Evan falling into the cake to me was like a beat too far. It was funny. And I'm not like mad about it. But to me, I was like, the throwing the cake for Brie, like, yes. Brie saying to Lucy, like, this is your chance to not make an embarrassing decision or something, like that bothered me from Brie because I'm like, again, you have been sleeping with Rick, like all of them also acting like they're better than Lucy the whole time. Like, I think that's my, like, I don't dislike Lucy. Because I've been in a toxic relationship before, I like very much understand Lucy. And I haven't gone that deep into things, but I can get how a guy can fuck with your head so much that you just like don't know what to do with yourself and like every decision you make is the wrong decision. But they all act like they're so much better than her. And I'm like, but you're not.
No, not at all. His speech was just so good. And he's like, this person did this and she's doing this.
And I love at the end, he's like, and just to recap, in case you missed it, like, but the best part of that whole scene was Diana going, Pippa? And Pippa's like, yeah. She's like, let's go. And Pippa's like, yep.
We're leaving.
And they just like bounced out of there. Like, these people are toxic and messy. We're done with them. Like, Diana's like, fantastic. This is why I don't want to hang out with your friends.
It was peak television. That there's no other way to end it.
I actually loved her laughing when she went with him at first. I was like, surely it's not going to just end with them driving off together. I was like, please don't end like that. Like, please don't end like that. But it ended like, it was the whole, like, he has to think he won. He has to think that it was his idea.
And her reaction, and just, it was hilarious. I saw something where it was like the screenshot or like the meme of like Lucy laughing, like looking like with the sunshine behind her. And they're like, this is like the brightest the screen has been in 3 seasons of the series. Like,
but I think that was the point, because we don't even see the show like in daytime that much. Like, there's clearly, did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
Like, did you ever watch the show? Not religiously.
Okay, but like, like if like Breaking Bad was shot in a way where it was like it was also very like dirty looking almost. Like, it's like the cinematography in shows is like, there's like a purpose to how it is. And I think Tell Me Lies, like, it's a dark show. So like the purpose is that everything is dark all the time. And I think that, like, Megan Oppenheimer didn't say this, or maybe she did and I just haven't seen it. Like, that was almost like Lucy getting her light back, right? Like, she knows who released the tape. She can push that. Like, she can deal with that. She knows Steven hasn't changed. It's like all these things where she's like, okay, like, I can move on from all of this now.
Right. And like the guilt of sleeping with Evan, where she's like, Brie doesn't know, but like Brie did know. I thought it was, I told you this on the phone, but I would like when he was like, come on, like, get in the car. And he's like, it's always more fun when it's you and me. Like, and I know he's so bad.
She goes, but I hate you.
But I hate you.
And then gets in the car. And it's like, exactly.
I'm like such a hopeless romantic. There's still like one part of me that like was holding out hope for Steven. And he's like, it's never, my life has been fine without you. But like, it's never. And I was like, And I was like, no, he's so bad.
That's kind of the whole point of their relationship, right? It's like they're fine with other people. They're fine. But it's not it doesn't give you that rush. And I think the whole point of their showing their relationship, and like she goes with Leo and he's perfect and we love Leo, like love Leo. Max, great to her. But it's not like, it's like she just can't help herself because she doesn't have that same rush that she gets from that toxic energy from Steven. And he doesn't have that same rush from another girl that he gets from fucking with Lucy's head. Like they just can't help themselves. I'm so glad she didn't do another season. I cannot imagine her, like, because I know she said like obviously it had been filmed and shot and edited before like this season like was blowing up as much, but like I can't imagine them being like, and now we're gonna come back for a fourth, like for what?
No, there was nothing else to it was the right amount of toxic. At some point it just gets like kind of old, and it's like this culminated perfectly.
A fourth season would have ruined the whole show. It would have been Sex and the City style, where they made a movie and then they made another movie and then they came back with a show. And I'm like, you've done it. You have beat the show into the ground so much. The original isn't even good anymore. And I'm so glad. Like, I feel like it must be so hard as like a showrunner when they're like, come on, like do another season. Like, we'll do this, we'll do this. And it's like part of you is probably like, damn, like they really want another season. But then you have to think about like your art and you're like, no, I can't do it. Like,
yeah, and again, like the character arc and like where else do you take them and keeping it like fresh and not stale, and how many times can they really like, you know, do some of these like storylines? So I totally agree. It was perfect. I needed nothing else.
And I will say like one final thought is the showrunner says, because in the book you don't, like in the book we the audience know that Steven was driving when Macy died, but in the show and then in the show, we, the audience, know that Steven was driving and Diana knows. I did think Diana was going to tell Lucy, but I'm glad she just left it at I believe you, because I do think Lucy needed that closure from her to be like, you were right. I believe you. I know what you're talking about. The writer did say she was not going to touch that. She did not want to change that from the book. That we never find out. And Steven never gets his comeuppance for that. And I think that's an important, like people are so mad about that. And they're like, they should have taken him down. And I'm like, but this is like, not everything was going to be wrapped up in a bow. And he like, that was never going to happen.
No, and it was never going to happen in a realistic way that wasn't like that didn't take up like a whole nother season. Because realistically, like, you know, the trial and him, I mean, God, he could have been home for like a year on house arrest, like before they even do a criminal trial.
And it's just like,
that's not really what the show was like about.
Yeah. And so I feel like it's almost hard to read stuff online because, and I mean, maybe it's because I have like very strong opinions about it, but I'm like, it ended well. And even before the episode aired, I was like, we're not going to get answers to everything. And I personally feel like I got answers to anything I wanted answers to.
The big stuff. Yes.
And even a little bit of the small stuff. Like we saw why Marianne went after Bree's mom, which like I didn't even care about personally. Like I know people in the second to last episode were like, why does she go after her mom? I didn't even notice that happened. So, but we have an answer to why that happened.
Right.
So, okay. Right. Guys, that was a lot of tell me lies. I'm like out of breath. Now we're going to do a hard left and talk about romance and happy endings, allegedly.
Let's do it.
All right. So we're going to just talk about some upcoming releases that we are excited about. I know both of us, Kailey, more than me, have read some of these. I have some of them on my Kindle that I need to read. But what is the first one you're excited about?
Oh, gosh. Are we starting with like March? Like when do you want to?
Oh, we don't have to go in order. We can just like throw books out.
I mean, there. I have my NetGalley up. Actually, no, I'll talk with the one I read first. I got to find
talk about the one you read first.
I'm very bad with, okay, it's called Into the Blue by Emma Brody. It is incredible. It's part of Jenna Bush Hager's new imprint, but Emma Brody also wrote songs in Ursa Major. Did you read that?
No.
It's like a musician, like love story. I mean, it was incredible. Like one of my favorite books that year. I love Emma Brody. I would read her grocery list. You what?
I'm making notes for books that I need.
Okay. So it's called Into the Blue and it comes out April 7th. They actually pushed up the publication because they are like anticipating this one so much. And
so this is a romance, right? Are all the ones that you're sharing romances? Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Just tell me if it's a thriller or if it's something scary. No. Just let me know so I don't read it.
No, we're just doing romance today. It's called Into the Blue, April 7th. So it's like the summer of 2000. It's very like if you told me before that I was gonna love this because she like works in a video store and then she gets involved with this other guy, this like other teenager, they're teenagers, and they kind of start doing like improv, and I was like, not really like an improv girly, but again, Emma is incredible. So basically, you can guess what happens. But 7 years later, they find themselves reconnecting because they're not together. So like, what happened? And it's kind of a star-crossed lovers, like never the right time, that kind
Is
of
it a
thing.
dual
Like,
timeline?
yes, yeah. There's like past, but
Okay.
then you keep seeing them at different
Yeah.
like different points in their lives, which I like always love. I'm like, so like this year, are they together or not? Oh, it was incredible. I was like weeping, 5 stars. It was so good. It will be in my top 10 of the year. And that's
Okay.
Into the Blue by Emma Brody. I love
You'll
her so
probably
much.
have to tell me when these come out because I did not make a note of when they come out, but
That's right.
you
April
have things
7th.
up. So my first one that I'm excited for is The Mashup by Laura Marie Myers. So I have followed Laura Myers forever. Like we had like a similar connection with Emily Giffen where we both like knew her. And so I'd follow Laura for years and years and years, just like she wrote for Pop Sugar and she did some other stuff. And this is her debut novel. And it's essentially like about if you find an old like MASH game. You remember MASH? Like
Yes.
mansion, apartment, shack, house. We all remember MASH. What a time to be alive that was. I hope kids still do that, by the way. And it's essentially about like going back to that and being like, where has my life gone? So I haven't read it yet. I'm really excited about it, but it comes out, I want to say in July. It's such a cute cover. I want to say it comes out is it July? Do you have it up?
I don't, but it's not, I like stalked the publicist and I was like, I need this, please. July 7th.
July 7th. So I am excited that sounds like such a fun little like take on a vacation book. So I'm excited. Did you feel like though, like the best books really do come out in the spring and summer? Like,
oh, 100%. Yes. And
like
fall is really big, I feel like, for like literary releases and like the big, like chunky boys. But I feel like unless it's a Christmas.
I was like, then we get our holiday books.
Right. But I don't want it otherwise. And even January and like February are kind of slow, I feel like, for romance.
And I don't read a holiday book, much like I don't watch Christmas movies like in other months. I don't read holiday books in other months. Like if it's not October, November, December, I'm not reading a holiday book.
Oh, agree.
So like that's
totally agree.
But I will read a beach book all year round. Like I will read a book that takes place on like an island any time of the year. It's not the same to me. All right. What's your next one that you're excited for?
I can't wait to read The Paris Match by Kate Claiborne. Have you read any of her books?
I have, and I have that on my list too. I'm
excited
for that one.
And like it was on my list, but then I heard somebody talk about it and they were like, this was fantastic. So basically, Layla Bailey is a physician and she has moved on from her painful divorce from her college sweetheart. But then she's invited to her former sister-in-law's destination wedding in Paris, which is actually where she honeymooned. She's like not looking forward to it. But she actually, I think, ends up with the groom's best man. And it's kind of like, I think it's an enemies to lovers. It just sounded so cute. And again, the person, I forget where I heard, I think on another podcast, and they're like, this was fantastic. And like the Paris setting was like almost a character in itself. So
I love when a book is set in like a beautiful, like I love when the setting of a book is like a character in the book. Agreed. It just really, and I think I will say, because my next book on my list is obviously Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. And I will say she does an excellent job of making the setting of her books like you can visualize like in Every Summer After when she talks about Barry's Bay. It's like you can visualize it. And if I can visualize, by the way, I've talked about this in the podcast before. A big reason I'm not a huge audiobook person is I like to imagine the places and this, like, I like to imagine it in my head more than hearing voice. Like, I don't know. I don't do as well with audiobooks.
Can I give you my hot take? Sorry to have you. I think like romance audiobooks, and I know like y'all are going to come for me. I think it's really hard to do romance on audiobooks.
I agree. I 1000% agree with you.
Because
I can't.
It always
I can
sounds
do a
like
memoir.
Cheesy. it always sounds like cheesy when the guy's like, "Hey, baby," like blah blah blah. I'm like,
or if it's one person doing the different voices, like I cannot do it. I cannot do it.
It just
so
doesn't
distracting.
translate well.
It
doesn't translate well.
It is beyond distracting to me, and I've tried it before, and I'm like, I know that there are people who like if they didn't do audiobooks would never read a book, and I totally get that, and like it's kind of like, you know, when people are like, I don't know how you read on a Kindle. I can only read like listen, whatever way you're reading is a good way to read. And I will leave it at that. I just can't do it. But I will say I love a memoir read by the person who it's about. And it is like, to me, I almost get more sucked into a memoir that way than I do if I'm reading it. But it's like so particular about those two things with me. Like memoir, if the person who it's about is reading it, yes. But I don't love an audiobook. But I am so excited. I know you and I you've read it, Our Perfect Storm, right?
Wait,
you've already read
it.
I
haven't. No.
Carly Fortune's book? Okay.
We both remember we were both like, where is it? Where is it? And then we like both got the like NetGalley. I have not read it yet.
Neither of us have read it.
Neither of us read it. No.
This was like a thing where if you know, I never get approved for Berkeley romances. Berkeley does not like me. Kidding. But I have communication with someone at Berkeley. So while I don't get approved on NetGalley immediately, I will sometimes be able to email them and talk nicely to people and get copies of books. So, but I feel like Kailey is like an auto approval of Berkeley on NetGalley. I don't know what you did. I don't know who she banged at Berkeley. I'm kidding. But
you know, it's because I do a lot of writing for shereads.com. So sometimes it's just them sending me the like, hey, are you working on any like spring articles? Do you want to, you know, feature this one? But a lot of times I have to just email them directly because
I do feel like in general, because like and I'm sure you do too, it's like I have contacts at other publishing houses. When you do have those contacts and those relationships, it does make it a little bit easier. Or if you have like a relationship directly with the author, sorry, I'm going to go two in a row because it just works into this conversation.
Do it.
But like Robin Lee, Crash Into Me, which is her book coming out, which
I can't wait.
If you know, you know. But Robin has been on the podcast. I have a good relationship with her, and she put me on the list of people to get advanced copies. So I did get a arc of Crash Into Me, but I need y'all to understand that the idea of you is what turned me into a sexy book reader, if you will. And I thought it was the dirtiest thing I'd ever read in my life in a good way, but it was so well written. And I think that's where I was like, oh, like we can write sex scenes, but like in a very well written, like beautiful way. And so I've been waiting. I honestly, for a while was like, maybe she just is like a one book. And she was like, I can't top this. So was just never going to write something again. But Crash Into Me comes out soon, and I cannot wait to read it. We're going on spring break soon, so maybe I will read it on spring break.
Yeah. I know.
All right, I have your next one.
I have that one on my Kindle, and I'm like, I don't know if I can hold that much longer. So good. My next one is Start at the End by Emma Gray. That's also on April 7th. I feel like April is like a huge month. I read her book. She's written
becoming more of a huge month. I feel like the last couple years.
It's like spring. People are ready.
Yeah.
She wrote The Last Love Note, which I did not read, but she wrote Pictures of You, which I really loved. But this just basically says the epic story of two soulmates who have to start over before they've really begun. I'll just read you the first line. It says, yeah, when Audrey and Fraser tumble into a love story for the ages, theirs is an epic, unbreakable romance until one tragic moment upends everything. Facing the unimaginable, wrestling with guilt, they're left haunted by what ifs.
Oh.
I love a like, what if? I love like The Path Not Taken. Or, you know.
Did you ever see the movie Sliding Doors?
I don't think so.
With Gwyneth Paltrow? Okay. Have you read the Taylor Jenkins Reid book, Maybe in Another Life?
That is like my bread and butter, because you know what? We all have a moment where maybe the guy we married, like if we had made a different choice.
Maybe in Another Life is so, if you guys have not read Maybe in Another Life, oh my God, it is probably my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book. It's literally a simple question like, does she leave the party with this person? Does she leave the party with this person? And it follows what happens depending on who she left the party with. And obviously, like, it's a very different ending depending on where but also not. Like,
but also we all like have had that, like, again,
what if I had done this?
If I had gone to college here, or if I had taken this job here, or if I had to, like those big pivotal moments, like if I had moved across the country, or if I had moved across the country and like done this instead.
I'm jealous of people. Do you ever get jealous of people who you recommend a book to and they haven't read it yet? I'm jealous of any of you listening who haven't read Maybe in Another Life. Immediately go read it. It's been out for years. I've always categorized Taylor Jenkins Reid's books as her first 4 and then everyone after that. And this is part of her first 4, which I think are her best books. I
love them.
Everything changed for some.
What's the one where he goes at the beginning on the plane? No, what's the one where he goes on the plane?
That's the one
my favorite.
One True Loves.
One True Loves.
The movie. Did you watch the movie? It was garbage.
Because everyone said it's horrible.
It will ruin it for you.
No, that's why
I love that one too.
That's like peak again. I just love a scenario like, what would you do?
What would you do if the love of your life, your high school sweetheart, presumably dies in a plane crash? I mean, this isn't a spoiler. This is in the very first part of the book. It's like in the first couple of pages where she gets a phone call and she's like, he's not dead. It's been, I don't know, 5 years, but you've spent your life for the last 5 years. You've changed your whole world. And then he comes back and he's like, what the fuck? And you're like,
you have a new man.
What do I do? And she's like, I am engaged to someone else, but I'm technically still married. It is, y'all. If you have not read her first 4 books, every one of them is like a traumatic, what would you do?
After I
and
Do,
they're all so good.
After
I Do is where they've been married for 7 years and they decide to separate for a year. Forever Interrupted is where he dies a week after, or like a couple days after they get married.
After I Do is very depressing, where they decide to separate.
Did I tell you that I read that on my honeymoon? Have we ever talked about that? I didn't know what it was about, but I just saw the title was called After I Do, and I was like, perfect honeymoon book.
You're like, I too am a new bride.
I am also, after I do, sitting on the beach in Hawaii, I'm reading this. I'm like, well, this is not going how I thought it would go.
No, it's so depressing.
It's like I also read Forever Interrupted on my honeymoon. 10 out of 10 do not recommend reading those books on your honeymoon.
You're like, Andrew, I'm ready. I'm in the mood now.
My brand new husband looks at me like, are you okay? I'm like, tears streaming down my face, just uncontrollably sobbing. And he's like, yeah, let's hang.
Oh that's hilarious.
But yeah, I love her first 4 books. She also does not have one coming out this summer. But okay, my next one, and this is, okay, I am kind of like hit or miss with Elle Kennedy books. I don't know your thoughts on Elle Kennedy. She has a book coming out this summer called Love Song. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yep. It's on my list.
It's on my list. I'm still pending on NetGalley for it. I love when you're pending on a book for like months and they just don't give you an answer either way.
You're like, ma'am, I'm in purgatory. Can you like...
I'm in book purgatory. But yeah, I am excited to read that. I mean, like I said, like some of her books I've really liked. Some of them I have not. But yeah, I'm excited. What's another one for you?
My next one, do you ever read R.S. Gray?
No.
She's like such a good smutty author. I'll have to like send you some of my favorites. Actually, let me see. She has one coming out in May called Our Secret Summer. And she's usually just great for like a smutty, like light. Let's see. Her sister dies, go ahead.
I just heard her. I said, "Oh, I'm writing it down." You're like, her sister dies.
Well, so her sister dies, and she has like to basically do her unfinished bucket list, and she hops on a flight to sunny Ibiza. So,
as one does. Yes.
You what?
I said, as one does.
As one does. So, like, I already love the setting. Yeah, and then she's like in Ibiza trying to do this bucket list. But then she meets her surprisingly sexy boss there. He's off limits, but they can't seem to stay away from each other. Again, she's just like
Sold.
A good. Yeah,
tell
like
me less.
In Ibiza. I'm trying to think which ones like I've read if it'll show you like that I really liked. She has. Oh, I liked Mr. Big Shot. Like that was very good. 3 Strikes in Your Mind. That was great. Blushing in the Big Leagues. She does a lot of like the sports romance. Oh, Fighting Words. I liked that one a lot. Oh no, wait, I didn't read that one yet. She's got, probably like at least 30 books to get through. So if you need something until May, check her out because I really like her books.
Okay, my next one. I'm a huge Catherine Walsh fan. Huge Catherine Walsh fan. I am so excited to read How to Write a Love Story. I believe it comes out like fairly soon. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. It's March, I think.
I think it's March. I've had it on my Kindle, haven't read it yet, but I love Catherine Walsh books. Are you a Catherine Walsh fan?
Yes, it's on. It's also on my Kindle. Can't wait to read it. I liked her. She had a great, her holiday ones were great.
Okay. Well, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Love.
All right. What's another one for you?
Okay, my next one is First and Forever by Lynn Painter. I just love her. I'll read anything she writes. She's
big
great.
Lynn Painter fan.
Yeah, I prefer her. I like her YA, but I prefer her like adult romances. Oh, like Mr. Wrong Number was chef's kiss. I love that. This is basically a football star and his team's diehard fan find themselves entangled in a PR stunt that only one side knows is fake. So yeah, like say less.
Say it
and the
less.
cover's very like Kansas Chiefs coded. I'm like, okay. Hey, Travis.
We love that.
So yeah.
Are you an Ashley Poston fan?
Yes.
The 7-year slip.
Yes. Like I don't want to say I'm a hesitant Ashley Poston fan. I don't really do
Did you
a lot
like
of
the 7-year slip?
I did. I'm not really like a magical realism.
Okay,
girly.
I'm not a magical realism person either. And I usually so I have The Someday Garden on my list. Much like you, I'm like a hesitant, right? Like the 7-year slip, I like read the premise and I'm like, huh. And then everyone's like, oh my God, it's so good. And I am very easily swayed to read things in the romance world, like even stuff I wouldn't normally read. If you're like, no, but you must, I'm like, okay. And so I have The Someday Garden on my list, and I'm like purposely trying to go into it knowing very little about it, because I feel like if I know too much, it's going to make me not want to read it. I think it's like a magical garden situation though, or like there's someone trapped in a garden. I don't know. There's something about a garden.
She does it well. And I usually like them. They're just not ones that I would always be like, oh, this is a slam dunk for me. But I usually rate it like around 4 stars.
Yeah. But I'm pumped. I love an Ash. I mean, when I say I love it, everyone I've read I have really enjoyed. And I think she's a fantastic writer. And she does make you, if you're like, I am not a romantic-y person. Like I'm not going to go read, I thought for a while about reading ACOTAR, and then I was like, you know what? That's like too much of a commitment for me to read these long-ass books. But I also just like don't want to get sucked into that world. I just like, maybe someday I will. I'm not a never saying. I'm more likely to read that than a thriller. I'll put it that way. But I don't like a lot of world building. I kind of want to just like be in the world. You know?
What is Yes. Oh God, I could really go off on a tangent. What is the one?
Fourth Wing.
Okay. No, not Fourth Wing. I will look at it, but I will also tell you my next one. I love the Catherine Center, so I
have that on my list too. The Shippers.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I was late to the Catherine Center party, and I like went through a bunch of her books at once, like in a several week span. Because somebody on TikTok told me to read Catherine Center books, and I was like, yes, I agree with you. If you tell me to read a Catherine Center book, I will. So,
I didn't love her last one. Like, it was fine. The Rescue. Did you read the Coast Guard Rescue Guy?
Mm-hmm.
I liked it, and like the dog was so sweet, and he was great. The main character, like the female, was a little. I didn't like love her, but I'm excited for this one. So, and the Bodyguard is getting adapted, right? It's going to be like a movie.
Yeah, it's with Leighton Meester. I think it's.
I can't wait.
Leighton Meester. Okay, so I am a huge Tessa Bailey fan. If you want like to really laugh out loud at a book, pick up a Tessa Bailey book. We've had her on the podcast. She's a delightful human, like just like one of the sweetest, funniest. If you don't follow her on TikTok, she's hysterical. She has a baseball romance coming out, or maybe it's out, called Catch Her If You Can. And I will probably read it because I read all of her books. So I have that on my list.
I love that series. I think the golf one's still my favorite, though. I'm like not a golf.
Oh, that was so good. And I'm not even a golf person.
So good. No, me neither.
Maybe I am. And I just don't know.
My next one is called The Missed Connection by Tia Williams. It's an intensely romantic, deliciously sexy tale about a woman searching for her handsome seatmate on a European flight and the unexpected places her hunt for love leads her. So basically, she sits next to this like hot guy on the flight. They never exchange contact information. She like thinks she lost out on her soulmate, and she emails her work friend like for help, but she sends the email to the whole company worldwide. And then everyone was like invested. They're like trying to find him. I'm like, okay.
Man, there's so many good books coming out. Just like throw me on a lakeside, throw me at a beach, transport me there.
With no kids and no husband, though, and I need like a week to read.
Well, I mean, I do have my solo birthday alone weekend coming up in 3.5 weeks where I will be solo for 48 hours. So last year while I did this, I read 2 books. So, I mean, I literally read a book a day. I read a book completely on Friday and then Saturday and finished it Sunday morning in bed before I went home.
Love. Okay, what's your next one?
Embrace is the next one on my list, by Val Cabra. Did you read her?
Yes. The hockey. She writes hockey stuff.
Yes. But I really enjoyed this one. I don't think is hockey, but I could be very wrong. Or maybe it is. No, there's skates on the cover. It is hockey. But I love y'all. You know that my original bread and butter is a hockey romance. As somebody who never watches hockey or goes to hockey games, I do love a hockey romance. But yeah, that's the last one on my list. I'm sure I have more, but I tried to keep it somewhat concise.
Okay, I can do one more because honestly, we could do like these are almost just like spring because I'm only to June, so I can give you one more, and then we could always do a part 2.
We'll come back with part 2 because I have more too. But I'm like, I could do this for 2 hours.
Yeah, like
so what's your next one?
Long. This is called Trope Sick by Lauren Oakey, who I love.
I love Lauren Oakey. She was on the podcast not that long ago. She's so funny. I got declined for Trope Sick. Sadness.
Okay, I need to reach out to her. I'll send you her people, or you can reach out to her.
I
can send you. Okay, perfect.
Yeah, I know.
Did you read The Best Worst Thing?
So good. Loved it.
It's like a very Jim and Pam coded romance. If you're an office girly, but basically this is just 2 childhood neighbors connected by a shared tragedy. They unexpectedly reunite to ghostwrite a love story for a reclusive author. So again, she's like one where I read her debut and I was like, wow, I would follow you to the ends of the earth. So can't wait for that one. That was June 16th.
So sweet too. Just like such a sweet person. She's a great follow. So 10 out of 10 recommend that. Well, I think that's it for the spring and summer reads. Like we said, we're going to do a part 2 for sure because there's a lot more.
I have so many more.
But Kailey, remind everyone where they can find you, even though we have it all linked.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at KMC_reads. But honestly, Goodreads is where I'm the most active, always updating what I'm reading and what I finished. So come follow me over there.
And I am everywhere at Neelykins except TikTok, where I'm Neely Moldovan, and you can find the podcast everywhere at Smut Show Podcast. And guys, please leave ratings and reviews. If you leave a review and I read it on the podcast, I will send you some happy mail. So go to Apple, hit the 5 stars because we like them, and write yourself a little love note to us. And we will talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.